Rain drifted through the trees like an old memory, gentle, unhurried. It tapped on the emerald leaves and rolled down bark that had stood for centuries. Each drop seemed to carry something ancient, like it had touched stone walls long buried, whispered names no longer spoken, and passed over a monastery no longer found on any map. Asterisk, you are walking a trail no one remembers. Asterisk, the path is narrow and soft beneath your feet, the ground cushioned by a thick carpet of moss. With every step, the forest seems to fold in closer, not in a frightening way, but like it's welcoming you into a quiet it only offers to those who seek without asking. The trees above bend slightly, their branches heavy with rain, forming a kind of archway as if guiding you somewhere long hidden. Asterisk, there is no wind, no voices, only the rhythmic fall of rain. Asterisk, you pause beneath a large cedar tree, listening. A low mist rolls between the trunks, rising gently to your knees. And then you see something strange. A break in the forest floor. A staircase, half swallowed by roots and time. Stone steps slick with rain, leading downward into the earth. Asterisk, it's as if the forest tried to cover it once, but the rain remembered. You descend slowly. Each step echoes faintly, muffled by the wet moss clinging to the stone. The air grows cooler, denser, carrying the scent of wet stone and something older, faint incense, maybe, or the distant memory of candle smoke. As the last branch of the forest disappears behind you, you find yourself in a stone corridor carved deep into the hill. Asterisk, flickering lanterns line the walls. Their flames don't move, even as the air brushes past your cheeks. It's as though they've been burning forever. Asterisk, at the end of the corridor, an ancient wooden door stands half open. You push gently. The hinges creak tired, but not unfriendly. You step inside. Asterisk, a grand hall opens before you, carved entirely of smooth, damp stone. Pillars stretch to a ceiling hidden in darkness. Rain filters through narrow cracks above, falling into long-forgotten channels that trickle into a silent pool at the center. Around the edges, statues stand in silent rose-robed figures, eyes closed, hands together in quiet reverence. You are in the heart of the Lost Monastery. No one is here, yet nothing feels abandoned. Asterisk, it feels waiting. Asterisk, you walk slowly along. The curved wall, passing tapestries faded into near invisibility. The threads are loose and dull, but patterns still linger. Stars, spirals that draw your eyes in. One image remains clear. A tree growing from the roof of the monastery. Its roots buried in the past, and branches reaching into dreams. Asterisk beneath it, a phrase carved in stone, worn by time. Asterisk, where silence lives, truth sleeps. Asterisk, you speak the words. Softly, your voice sounds distant, as though the walls are listening. Asterisk, a soft chime echoes behind you. You turn, asterisk, across the hall. Another figure has appeared. A monk in a deep brown robe, face mostly hidden, stands by a wooden lectern. His hands are still. He does not look at you, but you feel no fear. You feel seen. Asterisk, the monk walks slowly to a stone bench and gestures for you to sit. You do. The rain continues its soft rhythm far above. Drops falling into the pool beside you with a sound like glass bells underwater. Asterisk, the monk begins to speak not in words, but in a soft humming tone. You don't understand it with your mind, but your body seems to recognize the rhythm, like a lullaby from another lifetime. The hall hums with the tone, the statues seeming to breathe with it. Asterisk, and slowly, you feel something inside you shift. Asterisk, not sharply, not loudly, just a soft settling, like dust coming to rest after years in the air. You close your eyes. In the darkness behind your eyelids, visions stir. You see monks walking these halls long ago, their feet bare, their robes heavy with rain. You see a storm outside, wind howling over the hills, yet inside these walls, silence. You see a candle placed in a child's hands. You see the child grown, face lined with peace. You see the rain never stopping. Asterisk, time folds. The past becomes. Now, asterisk, you open your eyes again. The monk is gone. Asterisk, only the rain remains. Only the pool and the carved words. Only the echo of a melody you never knew you knew. Asterisk, you rise from the bench, not to leave, but to explore. Somewhere deeper in this place, something waits. Not hidden in fear, but buried in time, waiting for someone to arrive, not with answers, but with stillness. Asterisk, you step back into the corridor. The lanterns still burn, and the sound of the rain guides your way. The corridor curves gently as you walk, the air thick with the scent of damp stone and ancient wood. The rain is distant, no more a memory than a sound, but its rhythm still beats softly somewhere above. Lanterns continue to glow along the wall, their light golden and low, casting long, sleepy shadows. The path ahead is quiet, but not empty. Something in these walls seems to stir as you move. Asterisk, you pass an open archway and feel a breeze drift from it cool. Steady, like a breath, drawn deep and slow. Stepping inside, you find yourself in a long chamber, its walls covered with names, not written in ink or paint, but etched into the stone itself, line after line. Some crisp, some nearly worn away, as though centuries of wind and time had tried to erase them. You walk slowly past the names. Some are simple, a single word. Others are longer, winding phrases in languages you can't read. Still, each one carries something await, a feeling, like each letter holds a life once lived. These aren't names of famous people. They're not meant for history books. These are the quiet names, the ones people only whisper in prayer, the names of those who found peace here and left it behind like a soft footprint. Asterisk at the far end of the chamber, an open window lets in the scent of rain-soaked earth and pine. You stand there a while, letting the fresh air wash over you. Outside, you see a small courtyard, a forgotten garden, wild and tangled, but still alive. Ivy clings to the walls, flowers grow from between the stones, and in the center stands a single twisted tree. Asterisk, its branches are bare, but not dead, just waiting. Asterisk, the breeze carries a sound, not rain, not wind. A bell, asterisk, one soft chime, carried on the air like a thread of silver. You follow it, back through the corridor, deeper into the monastery. The light shifts as you walk. The lanterns glow cooler now, bluer, as if time itself is slowing with each step. You pass a series of doors, each marked by a symbol, a spiral, a star, a key, a bird. You don't open them, not yet. You know, somehow, that you're being guided. Asterisk, you reach a round wooden door, no symbol, only smooth, damp wood worn by many hands. You press your palm to it. It opens with a soft sigh, revealing a small circular chamber with a domed ceiling. In the center, a large book rests on a stone pedestal, the Book of the Rain. It is open, though no one is near. The pages flutter slightly, even though there's no breeze. You step closer. Asterisk, the writing is soft, as if drawn in mist. You read the first line. Asterisk, all that is lost in time is not forgotten, it is only waiting to be remembered. Asterisk, below that, stories unfold, not like traditional tales, but more like memories. You read of a traveller who came here after losing everything, of a woman who followed the rain and found the silence she had longed for, of a child who listened to the thunder and learned to be still. These are not dramatic stories. They are soft, like rain on skin, gentle, like the hush before dawn. And then, something surprising. A blank page. Asterisk, your name is not written there, nor are your memories, but still you feel like this page is yours. Meant not to tell the world who you are, but to give you space to simply be. No noise, no weight, just quiet. The kind of quiet that holds you like a blanket warmed by time. Asterisk, you close the book softly and sit by it, resting your back against the stone. The air is still and cool. The chamber hums with presence, but says nothing. You breathe in, then out, deep and slow. Around you, silence curls like smoke. The silence of monks who walked these floors long ago. The silence of candles burning through the night. The silence of secrets not hidden but held. Your eyelids grow heavy. The rain outside has returned. You hear it faintly through the ceiling above, soft as a lullaby. The sound blends with your breath, your heartbeat, the slow drift of your thoughts. You feel the walls around you not pressing in, but holding you gently, like ancient hands that know how to let go. You are not alone. Somewhere deeper in the monastery, more doors wait to be opened. More rain waits to fall. More memories sleep beneath stone. But for now, you rest. The book remains open behind you. The rain continues to sing. Asterisk in the monastery keeps its watch. You wake slowly. Asterisk, not from sleep, but from a deep stillness that settled over you like a thick wool blanket. The kind of rest that doesn't carry dreams, only space. Around you, the small circular chamber remains quiet. The book still rests on the pedestal, its pages open to the blank space where no name is written. And yet, you feel as though it holds yours in the spaces between the words. Asterisk, the rain outside has softened again. A fine mist now, brushing the stones of the hidden monastery above and soaking gently into the roof overhead. You rise, stretching. Slightly. There is no rush here. No place to be other than where you already are. You step back into the corridor. The air is cooler now. The scent has changed not, incense or moss, but beeswax and warm oil. A faint golden glow leads you down a narrow hall where walls curve gently like the inside of a seashell. You follow it, not with purpose, but with trust. Asterisk, you pass small alcoves, in the stone each holding a single unlit candle. Some are tall, some are no longer than your finger. Each one is unique, hand-poured, carved with gentle lines. Symbols, maybe, or prayers without words. Asterisk, at the end of the passage, is a low wooden door. This one is different. It hums with warmth before you even touch it. You push it open slowly. The candlemaker's room greets you with flickering light. It is circular, like the last chamber, but much larger. The ceiling rises into shadow, lost in soft curves of old smoke. Countless candles burn quietly on shelves, in wall niches, atop wooden stands, and in a great bowl of stone in the center. Their flames do not flicker wildly. They glow steadily, calmly, like the breathing of the monastery itself. Asterisk, and seated in the center, tending to a fresh wick, is the candle maker. Asterisk, her robe is grey and soft, her hands stained with wax and years. Of work she does not look up right away. She ties the wick gently, dips it into a bowl of warm beeswax, and lets it rest. Only then does she turn to you. She smiles, not with her mouth, but with her eyes, the quiet kind of smile that lives in someone who has never hurried a day in their life. She gestures for you to sit beside her. The floor is warm here, smooth, and worn by many feet. You sit. Asterisk, she lifts another wick and hands it to you, then nods toward the bowl. You understand. You dip the wick slowly into the warm wax. It thickens, then you pull it free. The candle maker offers a soft cloth and you wrap the wick carefully, layering it again and again. Time drips here like wax. The moment stretches long and sweet. Asterisk around the room. Every candle seems to listen. Asterisk, as you work, the candle maker begins to hum, a low melody, wordless and old. It flows between the shelves, winding around the flames, touching each corner, like a thread of memory. You keep dipping the wick, again and again. It grows slowly into a candle of its own. Asterisk, when it's ready, she takes it from your hands, sets it in a small bowl of riverstone, and lights it with a match pulled from beneath her sleeve. Asterisk, the flame, is quiet. Asterisk, unlike the others, this one bends slightly not to the side, but forward, as if reaching. She watches it a moment, then points to a small ledge by the doorway, a single empty space. She sets your candle there. Asterisk, now it belongs to the monastery. Asterisk. You look around at the others. Some candles have burned for hours, some perhaps for decades. Each flame is different, some tall and thin, others short and glowing blue at the core. But all are steady. All are calm. Asterisk, the candle maker rises and walks to a shelf at the far end of the room. She returns with a tiny jar. Inside is a soft powder, the color of sunlight. She sprinkles a little into your palm. It smells like rain on dry leaves. She places her hand over yours and nods once. For a moment, everything stops. The flames pause. The air holds its breath. Then time begins again. Asterisk, you don't know what the powder is, or what its purpose might be, only that it belongs to you now, a small gift from the monastery, a piece of its long memory, offered quietly and without explanation. Asterisk, you bow slightly in thanks. The candle maker smiles again, returning to her work, already dipping the next wick. You leave the room in silence. Asterisk, back in the corridor, the candle's warmth lingers on your skin. The hall is darker now, the lanterns fewer. The path slopes downward. Again, somewhere deeper in the earth, you sense another chamber, another memory, another piece of time still resting beneath stone. Asterisk, but the rain above continues. Asterisk, and your candle now glows among the many. The corridor grows narrower now. Asterisk, as you step away from the candle maker's passage. The soft golden light fades into quiet shadow. The scent of beeswax disappears, replaced by a cool freshness, like damp air after a long summer storm. The small jar of golden powder rests gently in your pocket hits, weight barely there, yet somehow comforting. Asterisk, the stone walls here are darker, glistening with thin trails of moisture that wind down like tears long shed. Rainwater trickles quietly along, narrow grooves in the floor, carved long ago to guide the flow. The sound is soft, like a whisper moving beside you, just beyond hearing. Asterisk, the corridor ends at a low archway made not of stone, but of old timber. You place your hand upon it. It feels alive, moist, textured, aged by time and rainfall. As you step through, the sound changes completely. You're inside a room where it's always raining, but not with force, no thunder, no wind, no heavy drops. It is the softest rainfall, falling gently from high above through a series of narrow openings in the ceiling, almost like threads. The water falls into a wide stone basin that circles the center of the room, creating endless ripples in its still, reflective surface. This is the room of rain and reflection. You feel no need to speak. The air itself seems to hush you, as if inviting you to simply listen to the water, to the stone, to yourself. Asterisk, you move toward the edge of the basin. There are no windows, but light filters in from above, dim and pale, as if drawn through clouds. It dances across the water in shifting waves, gently lighting the carved symbols etched into the basin's edge. You kneel beside the water and peer in. At first, your reflection is soft and slightly blurred, scattered by the constant ripple of falling drops. But then, something more begins to form. Asterisk, not your face, but a memory. Asterisk, you see a moment from long ago, your own or someone else's, you cannot be sure. A child walking alone through a field of wet grass. A voice calling from a window. A candle placed on a windowsill, flickering in a storm. The image flickers, then fades. Another memory forms. A monk sitting beneath a tree, hands folded in prayer, his robe soaked with rain, his eyes closed, his breath slow. He is not sad, but serene. Around him, the earth seems to still itself. The rain continues. It always continues. You touch the surface of the water with your fingers. The ripples expand, and the images vanish as if gently released. You feel a soft presence beside you. Turning, you find an elderly monk seated quietly near the wall. You hadn't noticed him before, perhaps he wasn't there, or perhaps the room had simply revealed him now. His robe is dark, nearly black and damp at the hem. His head is bowed slightly, his hands resting on his knees. His eyes are closed, not in sleep, but in stillness. He speaks, though his lips do not move. All rain returns to the sky. All silence returns to the soul. The words reach you not through sound, but through knowing. He gestures toward the basin again. You look back into the water. Asterisk this time. You see something very older seen deep in the past. A group of monks, gathered here in the same chamber, watching the rain as you do now. One of them is carving a symbol into the basin's edge. Another is chanting softly. A third is lighting a row of candles on a stone ledge, their flames dancing even as the water falls nearby. You understand now. This room is not only for remembering, it is for releasing, for offering memories to the rain. You close your eyes and let your breath slow. In your chest, something softens. A memory rises quiet, gentle like fog. It's yours, a moment of silence once broken, of peace once lost, a sound you didn't want to hear, a feeling you didn't want to carry. Asterisk you. Breathe in, then out. Asterisk, and with that breath, you let it drift into the sound of the falling water. Asterisk, you open your eyes again. The monk is gone. Only the rain remains. You feel lighter, not as though a weight has been taken, but as if you've remembered how to carry it gently. The jar in your pocket glows faintly with warmth, as if pleased, as if it too has heard. The rain's song. You rise and begin walking once more. A narrow doorway leads onward, deeper into the heart of the monastery. The rain grows fainter now, fading behind you like a lullaby finishing its last note. Ahead, the stone glows with a soft blue light. Asterisk, you do not know what waits. But you are not afraid. The monastery has accepted you. The rain has remembered you. The silence has embraced you. And the story continues. You step beyond the room of rain, and the hush of falling water fades behind you like the closing of a gentle curtain. Asterisk, the air is cool again, yet not cold. It carries a new scent, faint traces of old parchment, dried herbs, and polished stone. You're walking now through a winding passage that dips and climbs in smooth, ancient curves, as if shaped not by builders, but by time itself flowing over stone. Asterisk, at your side, the small jar of golden powder remains warm. Its presence feels brighter now, like it's responding to something deeper in the monastery. Asterisk, you reach a door unlike the others. Asterisk, it isn't made of wood or iron but smooth. Pale stone, carved into a perfect circle. There is no handle, only a symbol at the center. A downward pointing triangle within a circle, etched so delicately you might have missed it. Asterisk, as your hand hovers above it. The door opens silently. Inside is a vast round chamber. A dome rises above you like the sky before. Sunrise soft blue, fading into gentle silver at the edges. Small crystals embedded in the stone ceiling glow faintly, as if catching a light source hidden behind the walls. At the center of the room stands a towering hourglass. Asterisk, it is unlike any you've seen. Asterisk, the base and top are carved from stone, veined with silver. The glass is taller than you and filled not with sand, but with fine golden dust that sparkles as it falls slowly through the narrow center. It falls so slowly you almost can't see it move. And standing beside it is the keeper, Asterisk, draped in a deep midnight blue robe. The keeper's face is hidden beneath a hood, yet you sense a kind gaze behind the shadow. They raise a hand slowly and motion you forward without speaking. You approach the hourglass. Each grain of dust inside seems to pulse faintly as it descends. You don't know how long it's been falling or how much longer it will continue, but you feel its rhythm matching your breath, steady, patient. Eternal. Asterisk, the keeper lifts a small bowl from the pedestal beside the glass. Asterisk, inside it is more of the golden powder. They nod to the jar in your pocket, and you remove it gently. Together, you pour your powder into the bowl. Asterisk, a light rises from it soft, warm, like the glow of early dawn. It swirls upward and drifts into the top of the hourglass. Not hurried, not forced, just released. Asterisk, the grains inside shimmer brighter. For a moment, then settle. The keeper turns and walks toward the far wall, where dozens of shelves are carved into the stone, each holding small items. A feather, a stone, a bell, a folded piece of paper. Objects that carry memory without needing words. They pause and select a small object from one shelf. A delicate glass sphere no bigger than your palm. They place it in your hands. Asterisk, inside the sphere, golden dust floats in still water. The keeper places their hand over yours, though no voice is heard. The meaning comes clearly. Asterisk, you carry the stillness now. Share it or keep it. It belongs to you. You bow your head in quiet gratitude. The keeper turns back to the hourglass. You watch as they draw a slow circle in the air. and the dust inside begins to shift. Not ending, not resetting, but continuing. Time here doesn't restart. It flows, just as rain falls and silence lingers. Asterisk, you look around the chamber once more. Asterisk, it doesn't feel like an end. It feels like a beginning gently unfolding. Asterisk, you turn and walk back the way you came, the weightless sphere cradled gently in your hands. The passage opens before you, wider now, filled with a light you hadn't seen on the way in. The smell of the forest is returning, the green dampness of leaves, the rich scent of moss, the soft wind pushing through the trees above. Asterisk, and then you step outside. Asterisk, the sky is still misted with rain, but the drops are few and tender now. The monastery rests behind you like a dream present, but quiet, waiting, as it always has, beneath the canopy of old forest and deeper time. Asterisk, you don't look back. There's no need. The silence is within you now. The memory is alive, and the rain still knows your name. Asterisk, as you walk away, the sound of the droplets mixes with the wind in the branches. The forest doesn't speak, it listens, and in that listening, it blesses your steps. Asterisk, somewhere behind you. Beneath the roots and stone, the hidden monastery continues to hum with gentle time. Asterisk, and somewhere within you, the hourglass still turns. Asterisk,